Hello friends, today we are going to start with the Newtonian mechanics. So what is mechanics? Mechanics is study of motion and it can be divided into two parts. The first one is called kinematics and the other one is called dynamics. So in kinematics we study motion but we do not think about the causes of motion, and in dynamics we also include causes of motion too. Okay. So today we are going to start with very simple case of kinematics, and that is motion in a straight line. So here we allow a particle or an object to move only along a straight line. So for an example, let's consider motion of this car. In order to mark position of the car, we need to have some reference point. So let's suppose position of this tree over here is our reference point and we call it origin. So we mark distances towards right hand side of this origin as positive distances and distances towards left hand side of the origin as negative distances. So let's suppose that the car is at position x0 with respect to this tree. Okay. So now our car starts from this position and it goes up to some position. Let's call it x. After that it takes a turn from that position and suppose it stops over here. Okay, let's call this position as xf. So now we can define several terms for motion of this car, and first one is the distance covered. Okay, so the distance covered will denote it by d, and it is just length of the path traveled by the car. So it is length of the path traveled by the car. The next term is displacement, and the displacement is shortest distance between start point and end point of the motion. So here the start point is x0, end point is xf. So the shortest distance between x0 and xf is just the line joining x0 and xf. Okay. So this much is the displacement of the car. So let's define displacement. It is denoted by s, and here it will be equal to this distance of final position from origin minus the distance of initial position from the origin. Okay, so which is xf minus x0. Now we might be interested in finding out how fast or slow this car was moving. So for that we need to define a quantity called speed. Okay, so let's suppose the car starts at some initial time, let's say t0, and it stops at final time tf. Okay, so t0 is starting time, start time, and tf is suppose end time for this car. Then speed, actually this is average speed, so it is defined as distance covered divided by time taken. So time taken is suppose t. So t will be equal to the end time tf minus start time t naught. So average speed of the car is d divided by t. Okay. Then speed tells us about how fast or slow the car was moving. Now we might be interested in a question that how fast or slow position of the car was changing. Okay. So to find out that, we need to define a quantity called velocity. Okay. So what is velocity? So this is also average velocity. V average, V suffix av, is the change in position with respect to time. Okay. So change in position is final position minus initial position divided by change in time is final time or end time tf minus starting time t naught. Okay, so this is average velocity of the car. All right. Then now sometimes the car will accelerate and sometimes it will decelerate, meaning sometimes velocity of car will increase. So when it starts from the position x naught, there will be increment in the velocity of car. So sometimes the velocity will decrease too. So to find out change in velocity with respect to time, we again define a quantity known as acceleration. So the acceleration, so the acceleration is defined as change in velocity with respect to time. So suppose v is final velocity, u is initial velocity. So v minus u gives us change in velocity, and if we divide it by time, we get change in velocity with respect to time. So it is acceleration. Okay. And then in this equation, if we take this t on the other side, we get a times t equals to v minus u. So a times t equals to v minus u. And if we rearrange this, so if we take this u on the other side, we get a times t plus u equals to v, or v is equal to u plus a times t. So this equation is called the first kinematic equation of motion for an object which performs uniformly accelerated motion. Okay. So this equation is called first kinematic equation. Now we have defined some basic quantities related to motion. Now if we plot these quantities against time, then we get much more information about the motion from those graphs. So now let's see how to plot position versus time graph, velocity versus time graph, and acceleration versus time graph for some simple cases of motion. So let us start with position versus time graphs. So let's consider an object at rest. Okay. So let's plot the position on this vertical axis and time on the horizontal axis. So at t equals to 0, the object is at some position, let's say x naught, and it remains at the same position as time goes on. So at t equals to 1 second, the object is at same position. At t equals to 2 seconds, the object is at same position, so on and so forth. So we get these points Now if we join all such points, we get a position versus time graph for object at rest. Okay, so as we can see, this graph is parallel to the time axis. So position versus time graph for an object at rest is parallel to the time axis. Okay, now let's consider the next case, the object moving with uniform velocity. So again, let's plot the position on vertical axis and time on horizontal axis. T equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Now suppose the particle or object, it starts at some initial position. So let's say at x naught equals to 1. Okay, and for simplicity, let's suppose its initial velocity, actually it's moving with uniform velocity. So for simplicity, let's suppose its velocity is 1 meters per second. So in 1 second, it will cover distance equal to 1 meter. So at the end of 1 second, the object will be here. Okay, so we get this point. At the end of 2 seconds, the object will be here. So we get this point. At the end of 3 seconds, the object will end up here and so on. And then if we join all these points, we get position versus time graph for an object moving with uniform velocity. So here we can see the graph is a straight line, but it is now inclined to time axis at some angle. Okay, so if velocity is 0, the position versus time graph is a straight line and it's parallel to time axis. But if velocity is non-zero and it's positive, then the position versus time graph, it looks like this. Okay, now let's see next case, an object moving with uniform acceleration. Now to plot position versus time graph for this object which is moving with uniform acceleration, let's consider position versus time graphs for two objects A and B moving with uniform velocity. So looking at these graphs, we can easily figure out that B is moving faster than A, because if we consider some time interval, let's say from 0 to this point, then object A has moved to this position, but object B has moved to this position and both started at same point. Okay, so B is definitely moving faster than A. Now let's suppose A begins to accelerate. So in what direction this position versus time graph of object A will curve? Towards B or away from B? Obviously towards B, because B is moving faster than A. So if A wants to become faster, then its position versus time graph will curve like this. And if it decelerates, that means if it slows down, then its position versus time graph will curve towards this time axis. Okay, so if the object accelerates, if acceleration is positive, then the position versus time graph will be curved towards the position axis, and for negative acceleration it will be curved towards time axis. Okay, so this is for positive acceleration and this one is for negative acceleration. So How will the position versus time graph for an object moving with uniform acceleration look like? So it will look something like this. Okay, because if acceleration is positive, then the position versus time graph will curve towards the position axis, and if acceleration is negative, it will curve towards the time axis. Okay, now of course this graph is not drawn to the scale, but more or less it will look like this. Okay, so now let's move on to next category of graphs, velocity versus time graphs. And let's look at very simple case, the object is at rest. Okay, so now velocity is on vertical axis and time on horizontal axis. So this is t equals to 0, 1, 2, and so on. So at t equals to 0, how much is velocity of this object? So if object is at rest, its velocity is 0. Okay, so at t equals to 0, velocity is 0. At t equals to 1 second, the velocity is 0. So on and so forth, the object remains at rest, and therefore we get these points. Now if we draw a line passing through all these points, we get a line like this, or let me draw it with different color. So we get this line on the time axis itself. So the velocity versus time graph for an object at rest is just a straight line along the time axis. Okay, now let's see the next velocity versus time graph for an object moving with uniform velocity. So velocity on vertical axis, time on horizontal axis, t equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So now velocity of this object is constant. So at t equals to 0, let's suppose the object has this much velocity. Let's call it v naught. At t equals to 1, the velocity remains same. T equals to 2, velocity remains same. T equals to 3, the velocity remains same. And therefore, we get these points. And if we join all these points, then we get this kind of graph. So it is parallel to time axis. So this is velocity versus time graph for an object moving with uniform velocity, and as we can see, it is parallel to time axis because velocity remains constant. Okay, next let us see the velocity versus time graph for an object moving with uniform acceleration. So v on vertical axis, t on horizontal axis. Now let's suppose this object starts at some velocity, and for simplicity let's suppose it is 1 meters per second and acceleration is 1 meters per second. So now we have this equation, v equals to u plus at. We considered initial velocity as 1 meters per second and acceleration as 1 meters per second squared. So when t equals to 1, v becomes 1 plus acceleration is 1 times t is 1. So 1 plus 1, that is 2 meters per second. At t equals to 2, v becomes initial is same plus acceleration is 1 times 2, so it is 3 meters per second. At t equals to 3, it is v1 plus 1 times 3, that is 4 meters per second. Okay. So suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and at t equals to 0, let's mark it here actually. At t equals to 1, it goes, so this is 1. At t equals to 1, the velocity becomes u plus 1, okay, that is 2 meters per second. So we get this next point. At t equals to 2, it becomes 3 meters per second. So we get this next point. At t equals to 4, it becomes, sorry, at t equals to 3, it becomes 4 meters per second, and so on and so forth. So if we join all these points, so again we get a straight line. Okay, it is inclined at some angle. All right. So the velocity versus time graph for an object moving with uniform acceleration, it's a straight line inclined at some angle to the time axis or also to the velocity axis. Okay. Now let's see acceleration versus time graphs, and most of the times we will need only this case, that is the object moving with uniform acceleration. Okay. So acceleration on vertical axis, time on horizontal axis. So this is suppose t equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now the acceleration remains constant. So let's consider some initial value a naught. So at t equals to 0, acceleration is a naught. At t equals to 1, the acceleration is a naught meters per second squared. At t equals to 2, it's same. T equals to 3, it is same. So we get these points, and if we join all these points, we get a straight line parallel to time axis. Okay. So for anything which is constant, we get a straight line parallel to time axis. So here acceleration is constant, that's why we get a straight line parallel to time axis. And then next is object moving with non-uniform acceleration. Okay. So even if we consider just a straight line like this, so here the acceleration is increasing with constant rate. Okay. So this graph can be anything. So it can be a straight line like this, which means the acceleration is increasing with uniform rate. It can be a straight line like this, which means acceleration is decreasing with uniform rate. And if it is curved graph like this, so it means that acceleration is changing with non-uniform rate. Okay. So these are some simple cases for the acceleration versus time graph for non-uniform acceleration.